Hi, this is Julie Hartzler, and I just wanted to go over the 064 assessment. We did have a meeting today in 064 breakout group that was taped in Teams, but I was new to Teams, and so probably not my best work ever. So I thought I would make a video just to make something a little more cohesive and not as many tech issues as what I had today. So I'm going to go into my courses. I'm going to pick on 064. And so there's two types of assessments we're going to have. One is over competencies for the math department. The other one is a ELO, an essential learning outcome, which is problem solving, and that's college district wide. So how you do this, if you want to make it a test, a project, you can call it whatever you want. I'm going to call mine let's just say I'm calling it midterm quiz. And I'm going to attach it here. So I'm going to attach it as an assignment or a quiz or whatever. And so let's see, competency right here. I'm going to put OK, submit. And then down here, I can pick a due date. Again, I'm not quite sure when we're going to be hitting this topic. So it's going to be around midterm, so maybe, I don't know. I'm not sure when midterm is. I don't have a calendar, but we'll pretend then. And then I'm going to have you add a rubric, and hopefully the rubric will already be preloaded. You can make a rubric pretty easily. You go into rubrics, and you can create a rubric, which is all I did, and I named it. And then what I did is I just cut and pasted. So like what the words I wanted here, I cut and paste the words I wanted across here. And again, I added some rows, added columns. So for example, if I look at the competency rubric here, not popping up. Let's try again. All right, so for example, I could copy this. I'm just going to copy that. And then I can go into the rubric, which is right here, and I can edit that topic and hit paste and save it, and then that's there. So again, here, if I want to edit this, I'm just going to edit it. I'm going to go to my Word document, which I should have open somewhere. Here we go. I'm going to highlight that. I'm going to copy it. I'm going to go back into my rubric. Not that one, that's the one that's already done. Where am I at? Here we go. I'm going to paste and hit save. And that's all I did. Okay, so that's how I created it. But I'm not expecting you to really do that. Okay, so what I'm expecting faculty to do, and we're hoping we can make this as user-friendly as possible. But if I call that maybe midterm quiz, and I grab it again, so we'll call it, there it is, hit submit. All right, so there's the attachment. All right, so then again, whatever midterm is or whenever we're ready for that content, so we'll say it's the 16th, who knows. And then I'm going to add the rubric. So I'm hoping these are preloaded so that you can just hit select rubric. And there will be a list of 2 rubrics, unless you have your own rubrics. But one is going to be the assessment. And then the other one is going to be the ELO one. And let's see if I can get that. So I'm going to submit. And notice, okay, see how the points automatically come in. And if you want to see the rubric, you can click right here. And again, all I did is the steps I just showed you earlier, where I cut and pasted my Word rubric into this document. And so again, when I grade this, I'm going to look at student work, and I'm going to be like, again, I can't get all of this on one screen, so I'll kind of go here. But, oh, they got the extension right and the original problem right, there are 4. Oh, they got one of them right, there are 3. Oh, they made dumb mistakes, but they know what they're doing. If they wouldn't have made those mistakes, they would have got it right, or one of them right here. Maybe on the next one, again, perfect. And so you're like, they got both parts right. but then maybe on the last one, they just did math that doesn't even make sense, so it's a 0. And then you're just going to hit submit, and that grade automatically goes into the grade book, and the students see that feedback and so forth. So usually I have students, when they have an assignment, they would click on it. A lot of my students will print, so they would print this, and then they would do the work, and they would use a CAM scanner app to convert it to a PDF file, and they would attach it. And that's something I would have them practice way before this ever happens. So here's the assessment. So again, here's kind of standard learning. Can you do order of operations? And then problem solving, can you figure out where to put the symbols to get an answer of 28? And there's more than one way here, so that students have multiple opportunities to get the right answer. There's not just one way, there's a few. And so if they do both of these correct, they're going to get the highest score on the rubric. If they get one of them correct, they're going to get the next level down. If they do math that makes sense, but yet they make an error, maybe they do parentheses first, they multiply before they subtract, but then they add instead of multiplying by 4 first and adding the 2 last. So again, you know, we will talk about that as we get closer, like how are we going to score that? All right, and then same here, 2 levels. If they get both right, high level, 1 right, they're at the next one down. And we have that for all of our competencies. And again, I limited to these competencies because I thought it was something we could do at midterm instead of at final, which was one thing that Scott wanted. The other thing is that when you think of statistics and math for liberal arts, what math do they need to be good at? I felt like these competencies really hit upon that. And so hence that was a choice. All right, let me go next into the ELO. So the ELO is the essential learning. And so this is more problem solving. There we go. And so this is college-wide. And again, a lot of us do the focus problem on the e-reader break-even point. So this should be similar to something they've done before in class. I think in the book they also do this with gas and getting a free car wash. There's a bunch of different problems on this. Salaries, when's the break-even? So again, try to follow Poya's 4 levels. So understanding the problem, devising a plan and actually carrying it out, and then trying to come up with another method, so another way of approaching the problem, and then looking back and advising. So what should Susan do based on the knowledge? So should she buy a Keurig? Should she keep going to Dunkin' Donut? What should she do? Okay, and so the rubric for this is district wide. So this is not anything I created. This was created by a team of people. And so again, there's 4 levels that are highlighted, trying to match those to the 4 that we did. They start high to low. So hypothesis, that's that first level, trying to figure out what they're going to do, what they're asked to do, how they're going to solve it. This is solutions or testing. So this is when they can come up with another way, whether they don't have to actually do it, but they have to know there's another way to do it. This is the actual problem solving and doing the math. And then the last one is reviewing the results. That's when they go back and look at it and decide what they should do, like what they should recommend based on the math that they did. So this is kind of that 4th one. So again, my goal is that this would be preloaded into Blackboard. So again, I don't want to overload our tech people right now because they're working really, really hard. So I just kind of want to wait till things settle down, especially because none of this needs to be done immediately. But again, course content, I would build an assessment. And again, I might call this final. Maybe this is the take-home part. So maybe I'm giving a proctored final, but I'm going to have this be a take-home part that they turn in with me if we're allowed to have in-person finals at Ankeny campus. Otherwise, this could be part of your finals. So you could have a final exam where this is like the last page and it's just more of an essay question type thing. That's, again, up to you how you decide to implement it. Again, I'm going to browse. I'm going to submit this. All right. And then again, This is going to be at the end of the semester. And some students might print it, and other students might just write it on paper. That's fine. Again, I'm not going to do points, but I'm going to select a rubric. And my goal is that this one would be preloaded. So you would have 064 midterm assessment, and then there'd say something like 064 ELO rubric. And you click on that, and then the rubric would automatically come in there. It's going to be points. I think they did 4, so 4 times 4 is 16 is probably going to come here. Again, you can grade with that, and then you can submit it. Now, if you want to, again, overwrite it in your grade book and add 2 points to everybody, or if you just have them submit this part of the final separate, if you're doing it as a final take-home part, they submit this separate, and maybe they get so many points, and then you just omit it in your grade book, and then you add those points to your final exam. However, it could be a homework assignment, so it could be end of the year homework assignment. You do whatever you want, but we do want to motivate students to do it and to give it their best effort. And the nice thing about using the rubrics is that then DMAC can just pull the data, and then as a math department, we can pull the data ourselves. One thing in Teams, I'm going to go into Teams quick. So if I go into 064 Teams and I go into Files, there is a, let's see, that's the materials. So let's click there. And there's a guide. And Dan and David made this guide. And so it just talks about different things, all right? So that if you're not familiar with how to grade or whatever, you can do that. So you can read through how to do that. The other thing, it talks about how you can make it any type of assignment you want. And it also talks about with a rubric, if you want it as a secondary rubric, that's up to you, okay? So there's some different things in here that might be helpful that I didn't talk about in this video. So anyway, I hope that helps. If you have questions, please reach out to me at jehartzler@dmac.edu, or give me a phone call, that's fine too, or email, and I will respond to you. If you call my office phone, it'll just go to my cell phone. So, and then again, as we get closer, I will email out more information, but I just want you to be aware that this is coming down the pike. So hope you have a great semester. Again, if you have questions, feel free to reach out to me. Take care. Bye-bye.